again, this is Mike Lodge, and I am the business advisor, and I'm glad that you have joined me. I tell you, it is a beautiful, cloudy Friday morning here in South Carolina, and it's a good place to be. It really is. I mean, it's friendly people, good weather, sometimes a little hot, maybe a little bit of humidity, but most of the time, it's beautiful. I mean, right now, I'm really surprised because some of the leaves are starting to fall off the trees so early. And the other issue is that some of my leaves are turning from green to bright red. So I'm happy as can be because I like the change of color. All through the year, when you live here, there's always a change of color. Now, the only problem is if you have allergies, you have to suffer from those changes of color. And that's not too much fun. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, I think I'm going to go on to this fraud scheme that I've been talking about yesterday. All these fraudsters and schemers and scammers are out there trying to get us, right? Well, one of them, which I have never trusted from the very beginning because I could see how it could become an illegal function. And that is crypto and Bitcoin and those other nonsense stuff out there. I've never trusted it from the day it was born. The Commodity and Futures Tradding Commission, they just filed a lawsuit today against a company by the name of Cornelius, Johannes, Steynberg, and Mirror Trading International Proprietary Limited, MTI, charging them with fraud. Now, and also not just fraud, but registration violations. Lost my voice there. So the complaint accuses Steynberg of engaging in an international fraudulent multilevel marketing, MLM. That's where I thought it was going to go, because once people they find this new mechanism, which was called crypto and Bitcoin, and they were going to spin it off into other things that are always fraudulent in nature. And MLM schemes are mostly fraudulent. So they brought in 29,421 Bitcoin worth over 1.7 billion. The agency says Steynberg also used the company MTI in the scheme, which ran for nearly 3 years, from March 18. Oh, that's my birthday. Oh, no, it's May 18. No, it's not my birthday. Forget it. May 18, 2018 through March 30th, 2021. The civil action was entered at the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Texas. The little trading that defendants did was unprofitable, and they misappropriated essentially all of at least 29,421 Bitcoin accepted from participants, said CFTC Commissioner Kristen Johnson in a press release. Fraudsters often take full advantage of new technology, global connectivity, and perceived lack of a cop on the beat to participate in looking over these scams. So it says the charges against Steynberg and MTI are the latest actions taken by the CFTS, which said in May that it was adding resources to monitor the crypto market. Earlier this month, in June, the CFTC filed a complaint against Gemini Trust Company, LLC, better known as Gemini, for allegedly misleading regulators in 2017. The CFTC says that cryptocurrency exchange made material, false, or misleading statements to gain approval for its Bitcoin futures product. So, I mention this only because constantly, every single day, I have people approaching me on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, all trying to get me involved in some type of crypto scheme. And they all have the same story. And they talk to you and they act as if they want to become friends with you. And then what do? They twist it and says, listen, I got to leave for a minute. I got to go check my Bitcoin account. I made $20,000 yesterday. And then the story is that they have an uncle who owns a investment company. Each and every single one of them has an uncle. God, that uncle must be quite a busy guy if he's got that many nephews and nieces are running around, because they all have the same uncle. Now the problem is that what they do is they take your money and then they run with it. And it's a common theme out there. So what happens right now, we've got these beautiful Chinese women. These beautiful women, and they contact you on Facebook, and they'll say, hey, I saw your Facebook account, and I'm really intrigued to know more about you. Then they go on, and then they talk about what do you do, and all this stuff. You know, the same old mumbo-jumbo, stupid stuff that try to lure you in, like they're really interested in you, right? Now, I have played along so many times on this, and as soon as I say this, I always say this, I just heard a case, because since I do mediation, I just heard a fraud case on crypto. And they say, really? I said, yeah. And then I give them all of the actions, the legal actions brought on by the Department of Justice, the SEC, the CFTC, and then they go quiet. They go absolutely quiet. And they'll even delete you. They'll block you. Now, I block all these people anyway. Once I've scared them, then they go away, and they're never your best friend or your beautiful girlfriend ever again. That's just how these scammers work. I have had guys contact me about wanting to know more about my company. Same thing. They have an uncle too. All of these guys, they're not in China. They're not even Chinese. The majority of them are coming from Pakistan, from Nigeria, and other countries. It is an amazing situation. And in fact, I have even approached them and I said, listen, I know where you're coming from. And they said, no, you don't. I said, I know where you are. How is Pakistan today? I said, no. And then they start calling me names. And one even, I hate to say this on the radio, one even said that if you ever found me, he would cut off my balls. That's how these people are. So when you have this type of individuals or groups out there trying to peddle crypto and Bitcoin and foreign exchange, they're not legitimate. They are not economically sound. They are not financial advisors. They are just people working a computer someplace in a foreign country trying to get to your money. Because as soon as your money leaves your bank account, bye-bye. That's all you see. You'll never see it again. And it happens day after day after day. And they go after old people. I told you before, I'm old, okay? So they go after these old people. And they go through Facebook and they look page after page after page. And they look to see what you're doing. And if you look successful at all, they go after you. Fraud is out there, people. And Bitcoin and crypto and all that other nonsense that has a different label to it, foreign exchange, all these people who are approaching you, block them. Because they are nothing but social misfits. If they are willing to take people's money and run with it, they are criminals. And if they're ever found, they will be charged. There was one group in Turkey that was found last year. They had stolen billions of crypto. So we have fraud that is prevalent in this whole world. And if you're an older individual, so old person to old person, let's talk. If anybody approaches you on Facebook, on your Facebook page, and Instagram, and is so interested in you, block them because they are after you. Listen, on my Facebook, I have over several thousand people that follow me. That's because I have a podcast and I post blogs and everything else. But I monitor them and I listen to what they're saying and what's out there and how they are being approached by people in their stories. And you can learn so much from what's happening in other countries because those same criminals are approaching those people in other countries also. Even if it's just a few $100s, they'll grab it. And that is what is so sad about this whole crypto and Bitcoin thing. In fact, if you look at the numbers of Bitcoin, I mean, it is way down. Remember, Bitcoin was supposed to be this thing to fight inflation and to protect you against inflation. It hasn't. It has completely destroyed itself. And the biggest reason, I think, is because it is so fraudulent. There are too many players out there who know nothing about finance, who know nothing about investments, who know nothing about foreign exchange, they don't know nothing. They know nothing. And that becomes a problem because what they do know is they know how to sucker you. They know how to bring you in, get you interested. Especially if it's a sexy woman on the screen, right? And she's sending you pictures and she's doing all that. That's a whole modus operandi, is that they have this whole scheme. And each one of them has the exact same story. They follow a script. Each and every single one of them are single. They own a fashion company. Then they have an uncle that does investments. And they have a big bank account. And they're making thousands and thousands of dollars every single day. Stay away from these people. People approach you on Facebook and Instagram and all the other social media networks. And they're trying to get to you. And they're trying to seduce you. Block them. It's the safest thing that you can do. Now, I play along with them because I'm going after some of these people because they are so fraudulent. And what's so interesting is if you drill down into their email address, you will find an IP address. And you can put that into an IP finder thing on social media, and you can see exactly where they're coming from. They're never coming from Hong Kong. They're never coming from China. They're never coming from Los Angeles or New York. That seems to be the two popular cities that these fraudsters live in. They're always in some other foreign, distant country like Nigeria or Pakistan. Sometimes even India. But this is a big problem. So you and I, we've got to be smart, right? Let's just say F off to the fraudsters. Don't bother us because we'll come after you. This is the way we have to do. We have to act proactive in order to fight this fraud, especially against the elderly. They attack. Since I'm old, they attack me every single day. Every single day, I get a new person trying to sucker me in. And I play along with it until finally I get to the part where, hey, I know who you are. And then, whammo, they're gone. Listen, if you have any questions, send me an email at info@lodge.co.com. If you want more access to me, go to my website, which is www.lodge.co.com. I'm there. I can answer questions. If you have a mediation issue, if you have a family mediation or business mediation, or if you just need sound business advice, I'm there for you guys. Everybody go out and have a great day. It's Friday. Thank God it's Friday, right? Let's go out and enjoy it. And let's do something great.